ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। Sri Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, recorded by M. Sri Mahendranath Gupta, an apostle and disciple of the Master. Dakshineshware Thakur Sri Ramakrishna Tritiya Darshan, the third meeting of M with the Master and Dakshineshwar. একজন ভক্ত, one devotee is asking a question, মহাশয় যদি দুষ্ট লোকে অনিষ্ট করতে আসে বা অনিষ্ট করে তাহলে কি চুপ করে থাকা উচিত? It's a very interesting question. You can see the Kathamrita. Sri Ramakrishna discusses, apart from God, apart from Samadhi, apart from high spiritual states of experience, the most practical, down-to-earth matters of the world. This is one thing we should always remember, that he is intensely practical, at the same time immensely idealistic. This is exactly what Swami Vivekananda bequeathed to us, that immense idealism should be harmoniously blended with immense practicality. This comes with the combination of the four yogas, the synthesis of the four yogas, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga. So this is a very, very practical question in the everyday world. You may talk about God, you talk about the same Brahman present everywhere, all that is true. But in the practical life, if you see somebody who is inimical to you, who hates you, and intentionally tries to harm you, then what do? And there are wicked people, people who have such evil tendencies in them that they just can't bear good people thriving. Great examples are in the Puranas, the Rakshasas and the Asuras. The Devatas, they were so sattvic, so calm, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, and so on. And Mahishasura comes and dethrones Devendra from his seat, drives away all the Devasas and occupies the whole thing. Even now in international politics, you know how there are people who have clear evil intentions and tendencies. They can't be believed, they can't be trusted. But you have to live with them. The moment you are in the world, even sannyasis, as long as they are working in the world, within society, serving society, you have to deal with all kinds of people. You have to deal with the government people, you have to deal with educated people, uneducated people, people who are extremely worldly, selfish, self-seeking. And you also have to deal with very extraordinarily great people, spiritual people, unselfish people, people of great sattva quality. Huge spectrum of people you have to deal with. This is where the idea of sattva, rajas, tamas comes in. This is the beauty of texts like Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Sri Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. The Upanishads talk about the Brahman, transcendental Brahman, immanent Brahman, and they discuss elaborately the highest spiritual truths. But when it comes to worldly transaction, when it comes to living in the world and moving with people, the Upanishads cannot give you any guidance worth the name. Here is a great text, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which discusses, tackles and solves the problem of Arjuna. There's not a high spiritual problem. There's a problem in which Arjuna feels extremely despondent, depressed, and confused about what he should do, what is dharma and what is adharma, and what is swadharma, what is his own dharma, what he should do and how he should be acting. Once again, the roots are spiritual, the solution is spiritual, but still the manifestation of this is in the battlefield. Sri Krishna, discussing this question, begins with the highest spiritual note. Remember the first chapter, second chapter, discussing the Vishada of Arjuna in the first chapter. Arjuna is depressed, Arjuna is despondent, Arjuna is deeply sorrowful. And the second chapter, when the Bhagavan begins his teachings, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the first sentence he speaks, Ashocyanan Vashochastvam Prajna Vadascha Bhashase Katasu Nagatasonscha Nanushocandi Panditaha. O Arjuna, you are grieving over people who should not be grieved about, and yet you are talking as if you're a wise man. Who is a real wise man, Pandita? Gatasu nagatasuscha nanushochanti. The wise person doesn't care who lives or who dies. It may look very harsh. But what he is trying to say is, life and death are inextricably connected, intertwined. Things change, people are born and they grow and then they decay and die. The Atman alone is eternal. He starts with the highest truth of the Atman, the eternality of the Atman. Atman is never born, it never dies, it never decays. Na jayate mriyate eva kutaschannayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. The highest spiritual note, the Ajatavada. Ajata, it was no birth. Atman is never born, it never dies, never decays, is eternal. Ajo, Nitya, Shashvata, Purana. Eternal, pure, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, ever pure, ever awakened. Ever free. The highest note of the Atman as a spiritual essence, he begins with this in the second chapter, goes on with so many ideas of bhakti and jnana and dhyana and avastha and the gunatraya. Of course, he does not discuss avasthatraya at all. Gunatraya, sattva, rajas and tamas. Elaborately discussing it in the 17th, 18th chapters was the end. And discussing also the nature of wicked people, Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. What are the qualities which are very divine? What are the qualities which are demonic? How does an Asura function? Asuric qualities. How does a person with Asuric qualities behave, talk, function? Just like in the second chapter, he talked about the Sthita Prajna, Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. The Sthita Prajna, how does he talk, how does he walk, how does he sit? Elaborate discussion, the Sthita Prajna, Lakshana. The same Bhagavan who talks about the highest spiritualized person, he also discusses how does a wicked man function. A person with Asuri Sampat. How does he function? How does he talk? What is his attitude? Because you have to live in the world, in the body. And you may be highly spiritual, but you will be forced to transact with people who are wicked, who are unspiritual, with patches of spirituality, patches of sattva. By large, those who are rajasic and tamasic. How do you deal with them? The same note of discussion, Upadesha, instruction, will find in the Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. In the Kathamrita, you will find discussion on the highest spiritual truth on the one hand, and on the other hand, the nature of people, nature of wicked people, nature of worldly people, and how we have to deal with them through simple illustrative stories, tales, parables. Because life is not all about getting absorbed in spiritual realization. The moment you emerge from that high state of samadhi, you are confronted with the reality of wickedness, unspirituality, selfishness. How do you deal with this? Just after discussing the high spiritual truths of jnana, karma, bhakti, yoga, Sri Ramakrishna is asked a very simple question about how we should confront this world. For example, he is asked a question about ঈশ্বর সর্বভূতে আছেন, কিন্তু ভালো লোকের সঙ্গে মাখামাখি চলে, মন্দ লোকের কাছ থেকে তফাতে থাকতে হয়। বাঘের ভিতর নারায়ণ আছেন, তাহলে বাঘকে আলিঙ্গন করা চলে না। সকলের হাস্য। Such practical instructions. The high spiritual truths is asked a question, how do we deal with the fact that God is everywhere? At the same time, how do we deal with people, wicked people in whose heart also God resides? He says, Bagho Narayan, the tiger is also Narayana, but you don't go and embrace a tiger. Then he gives a very interesting story of the Mahut Narayana and the Hathi Narayana. Elaborately, it is discussed here. And it is said that Swami Vivekananda spent 3 days and 3 nights without food and sleep to explain how this story is a resolution of the age-old conflict between free will and predetermination. Swami Vivekananda said, volumes after volumes can be written based on one single statement of Sri Ramakrishna. They are so deep, so extraordinarily profound, so extensive as they are intensive, and they are very simplistic, appearing to be so simple. Immediately after that, there is a question by a devotee. When wicked people come to harm us, what should we do? Should we retaliate? Should we counter them? Should we simply keeping quiet, absorbing? What should we do? This again is an old question. Jesus the Christ taught is very near all renouncing, spiritually evolved sannyasin disciples. The Sermon on the Mount, Shailopadesha it is called, in which he said, resist not evil. If somebody strikes you in one cheek, show him the other cheek also. If somebody takes away your coat, give him the cloak also. If somebody asks you to run for 1 mile, then go with him 2 miles. Is that a good instruction? People who are in the thick of the world, having to deal with wicked people, if you do put up no resistance, they will simply swallow you. You will be smashed to smithereens. But if you once again retaliate, you will also be guilty of practicing violence, of showing enmity and so on. In the international politics also is the same problem. Ashoka, when he was converted to Buddhism and went to non-violence, completely disbanded the defense forces, and India suffered terribly. Invasion after invasion they came, and for 1,000 years India was prostrate because the practice of non-violence at the collective level, at what cost? Swami Vivekananda says, blames Ashoka squarely, says, this practice of ahimsa at the national level, being a king, the protector of his subjects, cost us heavily. Later on, what kind of political practice we should have to combat the enemies who are surrounding us? It's a very, very moot question. Sri Ramakrishna is the answer. That's the beauty. Whether the international politics, the India is the thick of such, every nation is, the politics which is happening, for example, in Afghanistan, should USA get involved in it? How long and how much? What should be the role? Every country at the collective level and every person at the individual level, man or woman, will have to face this challenge of having to deal with people who are violent, selfish, evil. What should be your reaction? Resist not evil? Is that the solution? Then you'll be smashed, you'll be taken for a ride. And in the case of a king, an administrator, a person who is the leader of the society, under whose care there are thousands of people, whose responsibility it is for him to protect them. Individually he may be calm, non-violent. But when it comes to protecting his family, protecting his children, protecting his society, protecting the nation, what should you do? A very difficult question. Ramakrishna has a very simple answer. Amazing how he comes out with simple solutions which are applicable at the collective level, at the individual level, at spiritual as well as worldly levels. The question, I repeat again, মহাশয়, যদি দুষ্ট লোকে অনিষ্ট করতে আসে বা অনিষ্ট করে, তাহলে কি চুপ করে থাকা উচিত? If wicked people come to harm us with the intention of destroying us, the intention of bringing us to some catastrophe, then should we keep quiet, be non-violent, or should we retaliate? Should we also be equally violent and powerful? Resist. Sri Ramakrishna. Look at the genius of this simple person apparently. This story and the other story of the Mahut Narayan and the Hati Narayan, think about them, meditate upon them, apply them in daily life. You will get an opportunity to apply this at every point, every moment of your life. Apply it and see how your life changes. How you can live happily, balancing the worldly and the spiritual, balancing the relative and the absolute, balancing the immanent and the transcendent, balancing the ephemeral and the eternal. Amazing. Sri Ramakrishna is answering. I read the original in Bengali, translate into English. লোকের সঙ্গে বাস করতে গেলেই দুষ্ট লোকের হাত থেকে আপনাকে রক্ষা করবার জন্য একটু তমোগুণ দেখানো দরকার, কিন্তু সে অনিষ্ট করবে বলে উল্টে তার অনিষ্ট করা উচিত নয়. Just 2 sentences he has summarized the whole teaching. When you have to live in the world, in order to protect yourself from wicked people, evil people, you should have some tamoguna. Too much of sattva guna, shama, dama, self-control, peace, love, universal sympathy, trying to think of the welfare of everybody, all that is good. But you have to bring to bear upon the transaction which you will have with evil people some tamoguna, which is one of the 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, in which you will be able to resist this evil. At the same time, he says, kintu, but সে অনিষ্ট করবে বলে উল্টে তার অনিষ্ট করা উচিত নয়. But thinking that he will harm you, you should not counter that move by you also stooping to the level of scheming against him and harming him. This is the sutra. Now he gives a story. See, this is Ramakrishna. The more and more you read this book, he gives you the principle, he gives you the essence, he gives you the formula, the sutra, then elaborates not through upadesha or instruction, but a beautiful, simple, a humorous, interesting, at the same time, extremely profound story. The story is as follows. এক মাঠে একজন রাখাল গরু চড়াতো। সেই মাঠে একটা ভয়ানক বিষাক্ত সাপ ছিল। সকলেই সেই সাপের ভয়ে অত্যন্ত সাবধানে থাকত। There was a Rakhal Balak, a shepherd. We call them shepherd in English because they have sheep. Here we call them Gopalak because it's mainly cows which are being tended. A person who is a Gopalak, Rakhal, who takes care of cows. He used to take these cows to the field to graze them. At the end of the day, he will bring them back to the stable. But there's a terribly poisonous snake lurking somewhere in a hole in that field where he used to take this. But usually, snakes don't come out during daytime. They also do not harm people unless they are harmed. A human being, man, is the only animal who does harm to others without being harmed. Every animal in the universe retaliates for self-defense, self-protection, or for food. A lion or a tiger will never kill another animal except when it is hungry. Only for food, survival, and self-protection. Snakes usually don't bite or harm others unless they feel threatened, unless they feel that the survival is at stake, unless they are also harmed. So this is a terrible snake, extremely poisonous, Vishakta Shaba Bhayanak. Dangerous, terrible, poisonous, venomous snake. সকলেই সেই সাপের ভয়ে অত্যন্ত সাবধানে থাকত. Everybody used to be terribly afraid of this snake and they will be very careful in moving around. একদিন একটি ব্রহ্মচারী সেই মাঠের পথ দিয়ে আসছিল আর রাখালেরা দৌড়ে এসে বললে, ঠাকুর মশাই ওইদিকে যাবেন না, ওদিকে একটা ভয়ানক বিষাক্ত সাপ আছে। When a brahmachari, that means he is a sadhu, he is a holy man. When he was moving in that field, then the little children, the Gopalaks, Rakhal Balak, they came running to this brahmachari and then said, "Oh holy man, Sadhu Mashai, Thakur Mashai." Thakur is a term which is used to show reverence. Oh reverence sir, please do not go that side. There is a terribly poisonous, dangerous snake and it may harm you. ব্রহ্মচারী বললে, বাবা তা হোক, আমার তাতে ভয় নাই, আমি মন্ত্র জানি। Then he replied, "Oh my children, don't be afraid for me. I am not afraid of that. I know some mantra by which I can charm this snake. Don't worry. Ami mantra jani, I know some mantras. I know some incantations by which the snake, the serpent can be charmed and tamed." এই কথা বলে ব্রহ্মচারী সেই দিকে চলে গেল। রাখালেরা ভয়ে কেউ সঙ্গে গেল না। Saying this, the brahmachari, the holy man, the saint, walked towards the place to which these children forbade him to go. And these boys, out of fear, did not follow him. এইদিকে সাপটা ফনা তুলে দৌড়ে আসছে, কিন্তু কাছে না আসতে আসতে ব্রহ্মচারী সেই একটি মন্ত্র পড়লে অমনি সাপটা কেঁচোর মতন পায়ের কাছে পড়ে রইল. So seeing a person coming and intruding into its territory, because nobody used to go there, the snake became furious, then raised its hood and came running towards this holy man. The moment the holy man saw the snake approaching it, then he chanted some mantras, incantations. সেই একটি মন্ত্র পড়লে, he chanted a mantra. Immediately the snake lost its violent behavior, became like a worm, earthworm, and quietly came and lay down at his feet. ব্রহ্মচারী বললে, ওরে তুই কেন পরের হিংসা করে বেড়াস? তাই তোকে মন্ত্র দেব. আয়, তোকে মন্ত্র দেব. I means please come. Come, I will give you a mantra. In Bengali, tui is usually used for inferiors, junior people. Tumi is used for equals. And apni for superiors. Unfortunately, in English you have only you. You for seniors, you for equals, you for juniors, for everybody it is you. In Hindi also we have tu, tum, aap. So he said, tui keno porer hingsha kore bedash? Why are you trying to harm people and then people are afraid of you? Come, I will give you a mantra. I, তোকে মন্ত্র দেব. এই মন্ত্র জপলে তোর ভগবানে ভক্তি হবে, ভগবান লাভ হবে, আর হিংসা প্রবৃত্তি থাকবে না. Come, I will give you a mantra. If you chant this mantra and do japa, repetition of this mantra with the devotion and shraddha, you will have love of God awakened in your being, Bhagavad Bhakti, and ultimately you will be able to realize God, and your violent nature will completely leave you. এই বলে সে সাপকে মন্ত্র দিলে. সাপটা মন্ত্র পেয়ে গুরুকে প্রণাম করলে আর জিজ্ঞাসা করলে, ঠাকুর কি করে সাধনা করবে বলুন? Interesting stories. In India, how many interesting stories we can come up with. The snake received the mantra from the Guru with so much of devotion and then bowed down, made obeisance, pranam, namaskar, and then requested the Guru to instruct it on the method of sadhana, spiritual practice. Guru বললেন, এই মন্ত্র জপ কর আর কারো হিংসা করবে না. The Guru said, go on chanting this mantra, repeat this mantra, do japa of this mantra, and do not harm anybody. Don't be violent. Don't bring harm to anybody. Karo hingsha korbe na. Hingsha means doing harm to somebody, being violent towards somebody. ব্রহ্মচারী যাওয়ার সময় বললে, আমি আবার আসব. At the time of leaving, the brahmachari said, I will come again. এই রকমে কিছুদিন যায়. Ramakrishna's way of narration, master storyteller, Ramakrishna as well as Swami Vivekananda. Those of you who have read Swami Vivekananda's narration of stories, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and then the story of Bai Gopala was such wonderful storyteller. And you'll simply feel absorbed. Even children can absorb this story and get lessons. And even elders like us are also charmed by stories. The most fascinating popular books in the world are the comic books. That's why Amar Chitra Katha became so famous. Lakhs and lakhs of copies were sold, not only for children, it's also for elders. This is the beauty of Amar Chitra Katha. The story books, the picture books. অনেক দিন এরকমই কিছু যায়। So days passed by. রাখালেরা দেখে যে সাপটা আর কামড়াতে আসে না। These boys saw there's such a change in the behavior of this snake. It is no longer violent, no longer ferocious, terrible. It is calmed down. It does not come to bite anybody. ঢালা মারে তবুও রাগ করে না, যেন ক্যাচোর মতন হয়ে গেছে। They throw stones, that broken pieces of pottery. But even then, the snake does not react, does not resist, just remains quiet like an earthworm. একদিন একজন রাখাল কাছে গিয়ে লাজ ধরে খুব ঘুরপাক দিয়ে তাকে আছাড়ে ফেলে দিলে। So they went nearer and nearer and the snake is not reacting at all. So one of the wicked boys, see, wickedness is human nature also, simply took the snake by the tail and then whirled it round and round and round and then dashed it on the ground and went away. সাপটার মুখ দিয়ে রক্ত উঠতে লাগলো আর সে অচেতন হয়ে পড়ল। Because of this forceful hit on the ground and the whirling, the snake started vomiting blood and became unconscious. Nodena, chodena. See, look at the way Sri Ramakrishna is explaining small sentences. In Bengali, if you read, you can see the charm. সাপটার মুখ দিয়ে রক্ত উঠতে লাগলো, it started vomiting blood, আর সে অচেতন হয়ে পড়ল, and it became unconscious. Then the way he is explaining unconsciousness, নড়ে চড়ে না. It doesn't make even a single movement. Very difficult to translate into English. Node chode na. Chode does not really mean anything. Node chode should go together. Node means moving, making movement. Node chode, node na, chode na. That means it is not making any movement at all. রাখালেরা মনে করলে যে সাপটা মরে গেছে, এই মনে করে তারা সব চলে গেল। The boys thought, the cowherd boys, they thought that the serpent is dead and they walked away from that place, leaving the serpent alone. অনেক দিন, অনেক রাত্রে সাপের চেতনা হলো। Look at the small sentences, like telling stories to children. And we are all his children. Imagine that you are in the presence of Ramakrishna sitting at Dakshineshwar and you are drinking deep of this nectar, Kathamrita, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling you stories. Just imagine, close your eyes and imagine. Even that gives you such an elevated consciousness of meditation on Ramakrishna Ishtadevata. This is sadhana, this is meditation, this is dhyana, it is called Leela Chintana. Think of the Leela and listen to the Upadesha, the divine discourse. Late in the night, the snake recovered consciousness. সে আস্তে আস্তে অতি কষ্টে তার গর্তের ভিতর চলে গেল. With great difficulty, slowly, it dragged itself into the hole. শরীর চূর্ণ, নড়বার শক্তি নাই. The body has become so weak, intense pain all over the body. It is simply devastated. There is no energy to make even a small movement. অনেক দিন পরে যখন অস্থি চর্মা সার তখন বাইরে আহারের চেষ্টায় রাত্রে একবার চড়তে আসত. So after a long time, when it was reduced to skin and bone, there was nothing there, just for some food, it used to come out of the hole during the night. Sometimes, now and then, it used to come in search of food. ভয়ে দিনের বেলা আসতো না, মন্ত্র দেওয়া অবধি তার হিংসা করে না. Out of fear, it never used to come out during daytime, lest people will harm it. Just the opposite is happening. After receiving the mantra, it has completely abandoned all violence. মাটি, পাতা, গাছ থেকে পড়ে গেছে এমন ফল খেয়ে প্রাণ ধারণ করত. It never used to eat anything else except some dry leaves and some mud and some fruits which have naturally fallen from the tree. So it used to sustain itself on such food. প্রায় 1 বছর পরে ব্রহ্মচারী সেই পথে আবার এলো. How a simple story Ramakrishna can spin this story and make it so interesting. Hear his voice. Ramakrishna is telling you the story. After 1 year, that brahmachari, the holy man who gave mantra, came that way again. এসে সাপের সন্ধান করলে. As soon as he came that side, he asked those Rakhal boys, the cowherd boys, what about that snake? Where is it? রাখালেরা বললে সেই সাপটা মরে গেছে. These boys said, sir, holy man, holy sir, reverend sir, Thakur Mashai, Sadhu Baba, that snake is dead. ব্রহ্মচারীর কিন্তু ও কথা বিশ্বাস হলো না. সে জানে যেই মন্ত্র ও নিয়েছে তার সাধন না হলে দেহত্যাগ হয় না. But the brahmachari did not believe their words because he knew that till the time that the holy name, the mantra, which has been given to that snake, gives it the realization, the fulfillment, the fruition of sadhana, into which it has been initiated through the mantra, till that time the snake cannot die. খুঁজে খুঁজে সেই দিকে তার দেবা নাম ধরে ডাকতে লাগলো. So he went that side where the snake was living and searching here and there, called aloud the snake by the very name which the brahmachari had given that snake. সে গুরুদেবের আওয়াজ শুনে গর্ত থেকে বেরিয়ে এলো আর খুব ভক্তিভাবে প্রণাম করলে। So the snake, hearing the voice of the Guru, the brahmachari, slowly came out of the hole and with great devotion bowed down to the Guru. Brahmachari জিজ্ঞাসা করলে, the brahmachari then asked the snake, তুই কেমন আছিস? Hey, how are you? সে বললে, আজ্ঞা ভালো আছি। Then the snake said, Sir, Gurudev, I am quite well. ব্রহ্মচারী বললে, তবে তুই এত রোগা হয়ে গেছিস কেন? Why is it that you have reduced almost to a skeleton? You become so weak and become completely reduced to a kind of a skeleton. What has happened to you? সাপ বললে, ঠাকুর, আপনি আদেশ করেছেন কারো হিংসা করবে না, তাই পাতাটা ফলটা খাই বলে বোধহয় রোগা হয়ে গেছি। ঠাকুর, O holy man, O Gurudev, you have instructed me that I should not do harm to anybody, and therefore I eat nothing but a little mud, some leaves and some fruits, and therefore that may be the reason perhaps I become so weak and so famished. ওর তত্ত্বগুণ হয়েছে কিনা তাই কারো উপর ক্রোধ নাই। Because it is developed sattva guna, this snake does not have any grievance against anybody. This sattva. People may harm you, people may insult you, people may even try to destroy you, but a man of sattva not only does not retaliate, but he has no ill will, he has no grievance against, enmity against anybody. Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karunayeva cha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukha kshami. Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, about the characteristics of Bhagavad Bhakta, devotee of God. He says, Adveshta sarva bhutana. He has no dvesha. He has no enmity, ill will, rancor against anybody. Sarva bhutanam, in all beings he has only love and affection and a pure, unselfish love. Maitri and Karuna, friendship, harmonious relationship, and Karuna, great compassion and pity. Nirmamo nirahankaraha, without the sense of I and mine, and forbearing, sukha and dukkha. Nirvairas sarva bhuteshu yassa mameti pandava. In the 11th chapter, last verse, 55, which is said to be the essence of the entire Veda, Sarva Vedartha Sangraha Bhutam. The Bhashyakara, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, mentions this. There, Nirvairas Sarva Bhuteshu yassa mameti pandava. Sarva Bhuteshu Nirvairaha. He has no vairitva, he has no enmity, he has no rancor, he has no animosity against any bhutavarga, anybody, men, women, children, animals, plants. The entire universe is one huge family of God. You embrace them with tremendous love and compassion. This is sattva guna. Or sattva guna hoyeche ki na, তাই কারো উপর ক্রোধ নাই. Because sattva is developed in this snake, he has no anger, rancor against anybody. সে ভুলেই গিয়েছিল যে রাখালেরা মেরে ফেলবার জোগাড় করেছিল. In answer to the question by that brahmachari, Guru, why have you become so weak and lean and thin? He says, perhaps you told me not to harm anybody, and therefore I am not eating anything except some mud and some fallen fruits and some leaves. Perhaps that could be the reason. He completely has forgotten that the boys came and then smashed it to the ground and did so much of beatings, gave so much beatings, because it doesn't even remember the people who harmed the snake because of sattva guna. সে ভুলেই গিয়েছিল রাখালেরা মেরে ফেলার জোগাড় করেছিল. It completely forgot that the cowherd boys were about to kill him. ব্রহ্মচারী বললে, শুধু না খাওয়ার দরুন এরূপ অবস্থা হয় না, অবশ্য আরও কারণ আছে, ভেবে দেখ. How Ramakrishna can spin this story so beautifully, and children will listen with bated breath, and we are also his children, listening to his voice. How blessed are we. Then the brahmachari thought for a while and said, no, it can't be only food. There's something else. You think carefully, try to recall what has happened to you. It cannot be mere food which is responsible for your having become so weak and so emaciated. It should be something else. Recall what has happened to you. Think about it carefully. সাপটার মনে পড়ল যে রাখালরা আছাড় মেরেছিল. Then recalled the snake that the cowherd boys came and dashed it to the ground and gave it such severe beating. তখন সে বললে, ঠাকুর মনে পড়েছে বটে, রাখালরা একদিন আছাড় মেরেছিল. Now I understand, now I can remember that those boys, cowherd boys, came and they dashed me to the ground and about to kill me. Then out of great compassion and love, because of sattva guna, the quality of sattva, this snake tells the brahmachari, the Guru, তারা অজ্ঞান, জানে না যে আমার মনের কি অবস্থা, আমি যে কাউকে কামড়াবো না, কোনরূপ অনিষ্ট করব না, কেমন করে জানবে? Poor fellows, they are ignorant. They do not know the change of my mind, that the state of my mind is sattvic, and I will not harm anybody, I will not bite anybody. They did not know, and therefore, out of anger and out of hatred, acrimony, they wanted to kill me by dashing me on the ground. But how can they know the great metamorphosis which has come upon my mind thanks to the holy name, the mantra that you have given me? ব্রহ্মচারী বললে, ছি, তুই এত বোকা, fie upon you, ছি, fie upon you. And you are so stupid, so foolish, such a simpleton that you are. অনিষ্ট করব না, আপনাকে রক্ষা করতে জানিস না? You did not know how to protect yourself. আমি কামড়াতে বারণ করেছি, ফোঁস করতে নয়। ফোঁস করে তাদের ভয় দেখাস নাই কেন? This is the punchline. It's a thrilling story how Sri Ramakrishna gives us an extraordinary worldly lesson of how to live in the world and transactions you can do with wicked people, evil-minded people who come to harm you. You stupid fellow, simpleton, fie upon you, foolish. You did not know how to protect yourself. I told you not to bite or harm anybody. I forbade you to harm anybody through biting. But why did you not hiss? The moment you have raised your hood and hissed, they would have ran away in fear. ফোঁস করতে করে তাদের ভয় দেখাস নাই কেন? Why did you not hiss and frighten them away? Then they would have ran away and you would have been safer. He ends the story here and gives the moral. দুষ্ট লোকের কাছে ফোঁস করতে হয়, ভয় দেখাতে হয়, পাছে অনিষ্ট করে. This is for a householder. But for a sannyasi of a very high order, even that is not allowed. But in the presence of society, everybody has to live in this society. There is no place where you can run away to, and therefore it's applicable to everybody. Make a show of anger. Swami Turiyanandaji once said, you see, I always try to maintain my calm, sattvic quality, calmness, tranquility. But sometimes I get angry, but I am not angry. I use anger for a certain specific purpose. I use anger. Just like we take a stick and then threaten a dog or try to subjugate an animal, then it's afraid and keeps quiet. Don't beat it. Don't harm it. So, you hiss. ভয় দেখাতে হয়, পাছে অনিষ্ট করে. Lest he should harm you, lest that person should bring you to misery, you hiss, make a show of temper, and frighten him, but never harm him. তাদের গায়ে বিষ ঢালতে নাই, অনিষ্ট করতে নাই. You should have a show of anger as if you are frightening them. ফোঁস করা. You hiss but not bite. Remember this story for practical world. So many different kinds of people will deal with them in this way. You maintain your calm, and in your heart of hearts, never hold any grudge or grievance against anybody. Even those who harm you, those who are inimical to you, those who have nothing but hatred for you, those who pour venom on you, in your heart you have only blessings and prayer for them. But in transaction and daily life, you keep grave, keep a distance, and if necessary, if there is a threat to your own existence, survival, and for self-protection, you may hiss, so that people are careful not to harm you. This is a great lesson for us in the world, whether it is in the family, whether it is dealing with those who are relatives, or in the office, or your workplace, or in administration. This is a great management guru. We talk about management. The Kathamrita is such a huge management manual which teaches you not only to manage people in the world, manage your affairs, manage your body and mind, yourself, and manage to elevate yourself to a level into which you will be absorbed in God. Management at every point. Sa chaturi, chaturi, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, that cleverness, that dexterity, that sharpness of mind is real dexterity, a real cleverness by which we will be able to realize God by converting all your negativity into positivity. In the present times, when so much of negativity is everywhere, people are crying, people are breaking down, people are almost driven mad, they are feeling lonely, they are feeling despondent, they are feeling depressed. Complete negativity is everywhere. Here is a great Kathamrita, the nectar of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, giving you hope, bringing you light, bringing you peace and joy, and elevating your mind to such a positive direction in which you can live in this world but completely protected from the evil, wicked people. At the same time, not entertaining any grievance against anybody, and elevating your mind and consciousness to a level in which you can always be absorbed in God, radiating peace and joy to everybody, everywhere, and filling the hearts of all those who come in contact with you, either physically or telephonically or virtually or through Zoom or Google Meet, because your face will shine with joy, because you have been taught by this great master, Sri Ramakrishna, through small little stories. Today we have been blessed by listening to two important stories. The story of the Mahut Narayana and the Hathi Narayana. The Mahut Narayana, the driver on the elephant, is shouting, move away, move away. And this foolish disciple is standing there and praying to the Hathi Narayana, the elephant god, and the elephant came and smashed that disciple to the ground. Then the Guru told him, why did you not listen to the Mahut Narayana? Think about the story, such a profound story. Think about it, meditate upon it, absorb it into your being, apply it in everyday life. And the story of hiss and not bite. These are the two great lessons which you will learn today. We are blessed, we are fortunate to be taught by the Yugavatara, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, telling us in the simplest language of children, because we are his beloved, blessed children. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.